All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, be careful. These demons know exactly which strings to pull. And the term pulling your strings, it's something that you'll hear when, like, somebody's messing with you, right? They'll say like, "Oh, I'm just pulling your strings," right? Or pushing your buttons, or whatever other terms they are. Um, but dealing with this, okay, with these demons, you have to be careful, because there are days, when you it's like almost like everything that can go wrong is going wrong for you. And different brothers have different things that get to them more than others. So you get agitated on certain things, like you may have different kinds of pet peeves, etc. But these demons know that. All right, these demons, they're not they're not slow of mind or retarded. These are spirits created uh, um, by the Heavenly Father, right, on the left hand side overall. And so they know exactly how to take you off. And the number one way they do that is by jumping on others to do certain things that can easily agitate you. And what is the goal of it? The goal of it is, if they can provoke you by hitting just the right button, pulling just the right string at just the right time, they can get you out of the spirit. They can get you out of the element that you're supposed to be in. And the second you are out of that spirit, imagine the spirit being like a force field around you, and being that they can't pierce through it to get to you, they want to bait you out. They want you to step out of it, right? When you stop being spiritual, even if it's for a split second, you step out from the protection that applying wisdom and being spiritual provides you. As a matter of fact, quick precept just came to mind. Meet thoughts. I think this is in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. So let's take a look. Where are you? Where are you? Nope, nope, nope. Let me look up every. Oh, because wisdom is also like a force field, right? It protects. It's a defense, because there are certain things. Yeah, there. This is the one, 6 and 16, and let's maybe go up to like 15. There are certain things that people, certain troubles that people get into because they don't apply wisdom, right? They go out there, they just give in. They let the emotions rule them, and they don't think before they act. And even some people that do think before they act, if they're not guided to think the right way, they end up having a lot of misfortunes befall them, and a lot of those are just self-inflicted wounds because they don't apply wisdom. So wisdom is a defense. Wisdom can prevent you from doing things that can come back to bite you in the ass. So now, when you are being spiritual, right, you are within certain boundaries, certain things you do, certain things you don't do. And the second you get carnal, let me give an example. You are driving, because driving is also one of those domains that these demons are really able to use to try and get to you, especially depending on where you're driving. There are a lot of stupid drivers nowadays that do a lot of stupid things. They cut right in front of you without signaling. They hit sudden brakes, like, I mean, stupid shit, right? And you may have a driver do something like that to you, and you have two options, which is, you know what, you get vexed in the moment, but you're like, you know what, just let it go. Versus maybe that day everything else wasn't going well. You had a bad day at work, you're struggling to do this, things ain't working right, you're hearing bad news and all of these different things, got coffee spilled on your desk, just shit is not going right. Somebody was spreading a rumor about you. So you already got a million and one things on your mind that are pissing you off, thanks to these demons. And then they do this one last thing that they know is gonna push you over the edge. It's gonna trigger you to where you're gonna be like, yo, F this shit. And you're just going, I don't know, do some crazy shit, and end up in maybe an accident or something worse. So that's what they do. And that's why you have to be careful, because they're masters of this. Okay, call them masters of the strings. That these demons are masters in timing. They show up, and you can tell when demons are messing with you. Okay, they show up at just the right time to take advantage, because their goal. Let me also load that precept. Like the Lord told Peter, is that weak? There we go. Let's start off with this. This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. It says, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." So, just like the Lord told the apostle Peter, it applies for us now. The Satan and his minions have desired to sift you, okay, to pull you from whatever it is you're doing. And sometimes people forget that all it takes is one bad move, one wrong mistake, one action without thinking, and the consequences can be innumerable. It can just completely destroy everything. It's like pulling the wrong Jenga piece and the whole thing, boom, comes down. So that desire to have and to sift you means that these demons are going to keep on coming at you. Sometimes they may go away for a couple of months, and then randomly, boom, knock, knock. I got the boys with me, and they clock it in overtime. That's what they do. So you got to be careful. You got to be able to identify when these spirits are messing with you, and be calm. Try to calm yourself down so you don't do anything rash. You don't do anything stupid. Because here it is. It looks like another individual. It sounds like another person, but in most cases, it's a spirit that's on them, having them trying to provoke you to do something. This can happen when you're at camp. Somebody comes up and they're literally just trying to provoke you. Oh, a perfect example. A couple months back, you had that big black demon that came up to the elder Manasseh Akbar while he was teaching. He is an example. He was a vessel that you had demons, that spirits that were on him, and they were trying to pull on the strings of the elder, trying to bait him, trying to get him to get caught. And you can see that the spirit held him back, but you can see that they were really pulling on those strings. That's what they do. Them demons. See, there's certain brothers that have less tolerance for certain things. And really, as a man, if somebody gets in your face, that's already, agitated number one. And then they start putting their hands and saying all this shit. Once again, they're pulling on those strings, pulling, hoping that one of them is gonna give, and you just going, and then you're gonna leave the spiritual force field, get carnal, and then from there it just goes all downhill. Because if they can get you to take one step out, they're gonna pull you all the way out. And unless the Lord have mercy on you, you're done. See? So this is 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober." Why? Because when you're sober, you can think clearly. When you're not inebriated. It says, "Be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." So he's constantly going about ready. He needs somebody. He's looking. Who's weak? And that's what happened. That's why we constantly say, man, you got to stay on point. You got to stay sharp, because when you become weak, you may have been strong 2 years ago. You become weak now, the demons are gonna smell it. Like sharks are able to detect blood, come for your ass. Dogs, if you certain animals can detect fear. Really, maybe all of them, but a good percentage of them. All right. So when you, like a dog, for example, if you see a dog and you got fear in your eyes, you better close your eyes or something, because if you look and make that eye contact with that dog and he senses that fear, it's like a predatory reaction that's going to kick in within that dog, and they're going to come for your ass. I know, because it happened to me when I was a kid. Okay. But they may be going their own way, and the second they sense that, now they're attracted. Now, what's up? So that's how these demons are. When they sense, this individual is weak, and then there we go. That's when they come in there like a flood, trying to get your ass, trying to provoke you, trying to capitalize off of that. And that's when you need to recognize, nope, these spirits are trying to take advantage. They're trying to mess with me. Do not, stay focused. Fill up your mind with spiritual thoughts. Read these scriptures. Get into that zone. Get in the zone. Auto zone. All right. So it says, oh man. Moving on, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 2:1. So, the point is, why is this? Demons, see, the thing about people in the world is when demons jump on them demons are able to use them as vessels without resistance. But in the truth, our spirit is awakened. Our spirits are on a heightened level. So there is pushback. It's not, that's it. That's it. It's not it's not demons coming and getting a free ride, open season. Let me just hop on this vessel and jump. No, there's gonna be a clash. They're gonna try to hop into your mind, but you're gonna rebuke them. See, because you recognize, nope, this is a foreign, this is like a pathogen. Your spirit is almost like your spirit has its own immune system, a spiritual immune system. And these demons are like these different pathogens and germs and stuff. And the second they enter your mind, boom, the spirit kicks in. And the Lord instilled that within the spirits of the elect. So they have that spiritual defense mechanism. And it guards against deception. It guards against lies. It guards against these spiritual demonic attacks. And that's how the elect are going to overcome every time. That's how the elect are not going to be deceived. Because that spiritual defense mechanism is going to kick off. And it's going to learn, nope, I will not follow this individual. Okay, or no, I will not give in. Nope, this person is trying to bait me. And then you stay in check, you stay in control. And why is it that with us it's like that? Because there's that resistance, there's a back and forth. So you feel that temptation even more. Now, when you read the book of Ecclesiasticus 2:1, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for what? For temptation. Who's going to do the temptation? Ultimately, it's going to be the Lord. He has to prove you, but he's going to do it through his left-hand side. He's going to do it through those demons. So you got to prepare your soul for temptation because they're going to come, because now you are on their radar. You are big, you are fresh meat, fresh targets on their radar. And from the second the Lord wakes you up, they're coming for you. It's a constant battle. Always, always, always. And if you let your guard down, they will be there. So moving on, this is the book of Proverbs. And one of the strongest emotions, or the strongest strings that they pull on, are your emotions. Because emotions are a very strong driving factor. I mean, in fact, they're so strong that when you look at a lot of people that act in the world today, they move out of their emotions. They don't think. The emotions hijack their ability to think logically through things. So emotions are a very strong thing. And they get a lot of people to steer or veer off the path. So these demons understand that. And so if they can create situations and scenarios where your emotions get like on steroids, anger, for example, they know that when you get angry, it's hard for you to stay in control. Your anger can then control you instead of you controlling it, right? So what do the demons say? Well, if we can get him angry enough, then he will lose control. His anger is going to control him instead of him controlling the anger. And what's the anger going to do? Is going to pull him out that force field, and we're going to get his ass. So that's when they get to work. And guess what? They coordinate with themselves. Just like you have certain spirits on the right hand that do this and do this to get this to happen, demons on the left hand, they're also coordinating on your ass. You may have things go wrong for you while you're outside, things go wrong for you while you're at home. Maybe your boss gives you hell, and then when you come home, your woman gives you hell. Guess what? It could be the same demons coordinating with each other, trying to pull on your strings. And they try to set it up perfectly to get whatever emotion they need out of you. Anger or whatever it is. See, so Proverbs, and the reason I brought up anger is because, as it says here, Proverbs 16:32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. Because you could be as strong as you want, but guess what? If you can't control your anger, you get quick, you're hot-tempered, it will control you. And all that power that you have is going to go to waste because it's not going to be channeled properly. And it can be used to destroy you. So he that is slow to anger, one that is long-suffering. Like if you, one tactic that people that fight, they use is to try and get into your opponent's head. Because if you can get into their head, better yet, if you can get them angry enough, get them off of their game. You would think that anger would really charge you up, but actually, if you don't control that anger, you'll be throwing wild, crazy ass punches, basically beating the air instead of being precise. Because your anger is controlling. You're so mad, like somebody's in front of you. You're so angry that all you're thinking about is, damn, I want to hit him. And you just want to hit him so much, you forget about technique. You forget about the fact, like you forget about who it is that you're fighting. You forget about all that. So you have to be able to control yourself. It says, and he that ruleth his spirit, then he that taketh a city. Because they're, being mighty, taking over a city, these are things that it's not limited to certain people. Anybody can kind of do it, right? If you put your mind to it and you plan it and you strategize enough and all of that. But when it comes to things like ruling your spirit, this is not something that just anybody can do. And it's also not something that just happens overnight, but it's a very powerful thing. If you can keep your emotions in check, that is a very powerful thing. And it's very powerful because not a lot of people can do it. In fact, very few people can do it. Because your emotions are like they almost have like a one-to-one relationship with cause and effect. There's certain things that they're like triggers. Like if you have a gun and the second you pull the trigger, that bullet is coming out. And that's kind of like how some of your emotions are. The second the trigger is pulled, boom, you react a certain kind of way. You get ticked off, you get sad, you get angry. And if you can control yourself, it doesn't mean that you won't get angry, and it doesn't mean that you won't get sad. What it means is the way you react when you get angry, the way you react when you get sad. This is how you control your emotions. Okay? And eventually you'll be able to stay calm. Even you can be upset and still be calm. You can be upset and not turn into a raging fire that destroys everything in its path. And you can keep yourself in check. You can control yourself. So sometimes you get very angry, but instead of blacking out and just doing whatever, you think. And as you think through it, hey, maybe that anger dissipates. It just goes away because maybe it's unnecessary. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. So before you take any rash actions, you calm down and think before you move. So you control yourself. And it's not just anger. Like I said, there's different fronts. But keep in mind, demons are intelligent. They're not stupid. So they know exactly who they're dealing with. These elites, these priests that deal with spirits on the left-hand side, they get that kind of information. So they know exactly, once again, who they're dealing with. The Apostle Paul, the demon that attacked the sons of Siva, what did he tell them? He said, Paul we know, Yahushua we know, but who are you? So they knew the Apostle Paul. When he said, oh, wretched man that I am, they know why he said that. They know the things you've done. They know all of that. They can manipulate your thoughts. They can get into your mind. They can get into your head. Why is it that they always want to attack your head and your mind? Because that's the control center. If they can hijack that, they got the rest. But then they can also attack your body. That's where you get your infirmities. Hope I said that right. Infirmants. Is that right? Infirmities. Wow. I don't know why I said infirmants. Tripping out. Maybe that was a demon. But your infirmities, right? That's where you get your infirmities. These are actual demons. Physical infirmities are actually demons. Today, Esau has compartmentalized them into different groups. Oh, this is under this is under that. Depression, schizophrenia, all of these things. These are just terms, but at the end of the day, these are spirits. And that's why whenever in the ancient world, they would exorcise these spirits off of you, and then you would be quote unquote healed. When Job got those boils right on him, that was the Lord giving Satan permission to plague Job. So that was a spirit that, them demons that affected him, and they can do it physically. So they have many tools in their arsenal. They know, what are your strong points, what are your weak points, what you can handle, what you can't handle, what you hate, what you like, they can remember they're masters of the strings. So you have to be very careful, especially as we get to the last days. We get to that finishing point. The temptations are going to come, and they're gonna be coming in different ways, and you got to be able to spot them, and you got to know what to do. All right, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away." Let me see if I read this. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She preventeth them that desire her, and maketh herself known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have great travail, or Slakia shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, which is spiritual, because on the one hand, you got Satan going about seeking whom he can devour, and you got wisdom also going about seeking such as are worthy of her. So if you think of the truth like that, guess what? The truth sought us out and found us. We didn't find it, we were led. Whether it was to a camp or to a video, you were led there. You were called. Something drew you there, and then you were exposed to it. And at that point, the seed was planted. So whether you came into the truth at that very point, that very moment in time, or later, the seed was planted, and then all they had to do was just grow. So it says, "Sheweth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought." And that's the point right there. Ooh, matter of fact, let's read verse 17. "For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love." And this is why, it says in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, "If you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation." But having wisdom and holding on to wisdom through temptation, through vexation, through demonic attacks will keep you protected, because she will meet you at every thought. Damn, this guy just pissed me off so. Oh man, I'm like a second away from knocking this dude out. And then wisdom meets you there, because before your brain sends that command, why would your brain send a command to knock this guy out? Because you're angry. And that anger is, and the demons are sending messages through your angry emotion, saying, "Yo, you angry, now what?" Right? Do something. Punch him, kick him, yell at him, say something. That's what them demons are trying to do. But wisdom is going to meet you and say, "Okay, hold on a second though. What happens after that?" Instead of just thinking one move ahead, think 2, 3, 4, 5 moves ahead. You are in public. You're not in high school. You're not in middle school. This is a public area. Somebody pisses you off. You punch them in the face. It turns into a fight. What happens? The police get involved? How is it? Were you acting in defense? Did they do something? Are you justified? Could this possibly, blow over into a further case? Where are you? Maybe you may be at camp. Wisdom will meet you. Think about it. They're already out for us. So would you losing your cool and getting physical with somebody be the wisest thing to do right now? Even though you may want to, you may feel like it because you're upset, but is that the wisest thing to do? The cops already want you, so they're not going to be on your side when they get here. This will go on the news because they're looking for something to, add fuel. Vocab Malone is going to jump on it, and it's going to put a bad image out there. So really think about the downstream impacts. You get temporary satisfaction. You punch him in the face because he says something disrespectful to you. Okay. But now, do the benefits outweigh the risks, though? Do the pros outweigh the cons? Because for I don't know, for 5 seconds of satisfying your anger, how many minutes or hours or days or months or weeks or years will you have to suffer consequences for that? This is how wisdom will meet you at every thought. It'll make you think about your actions before you do them. Okay, what are the different ways this can go? And then you can weigh out the options and say, you know what? I don't think it's worth it. It's whatever, man. Let me just chill. And then eventually you calm down. And then voila. So, that's pretty much it. I don't want to, I got the precepts. I think I got the point across. Be careful. Okay. These demons know exactly which strings to pull. But man, woman, child, they know who you are. They know what ticks you off, and they will use that against you. So you have to rule your spirit. You have to control yourself. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me read this. This is Yahweh's warrior, Shalom, Proverbs 14 and 21. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. Yeah, because the more you understand, the less you get triggered, right? Hey, like for example, if you understand female nature, there are a lot of things, a lot of behaviors. You see, let me give one quick example before I leave, right? You're dealing with somebody, but if you understand how they work, when they do certain things, instead of you getting all worked up, you understand, you know what? This is their nature. This is how they were designed. Of course they're going to do this. So if I'm getting mad or trying to do this, then I'm really forcing the issue, because I'm trying to go against their nature. That is how they are. So what do I have to do to where this doesn't affect me? As opposed to, you don't understand it, so to you it's very absurd. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Well, what did you expect her to do? That's how she was designed. In this situation, this is likely how she's going to react. And when you understand that, you don't even get mad anymore. When a child does something stupid versus when an adult does something stupid, when are you more likely to lose your cool? When an adult does it, you have less tolerance. In your mind, you're like, you're an adult, you should know better. But as a child, you understand that is a child. They don't know any better. Here it is. Your toddler is walking around. I don't know, maybe you're working on something. You're working on in a shack or whatever. You're building something, so you got your toolbox out, and here it is. Your toddler goes in there. He picks up a hammer and he just, "Daddy, what's this?" Boom, right on your toes. Here it is. Now you looking down at your feet. You don't even want to look down. Your three of your feet are smashed. You heard the crack. Some bones are broken, and then and now if this was some adult, you already know what's going on. You're gonna be real upset. It's gonna take a lot to calm you down. But when you look at your child, you're gonna understand that they don't know what they're doing. So you hurt and you pissed, but you're gonna calm down a bit, because you're just gonna take it as is. It's all right. Just next time, let me just put the toolbox somewhere they can't reach. As opposed to like going completely, haywire and shit. Right? Yeah. So hey, just keep that in mind, as you traverse through this maze of deception. Right? You go through these temptations, keep that in mind. Okay, that there are demons that are trying to pull your strings. So you gotta stay on point. All right. The salvation is worth much more than any temptation. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.